Welcome to Empowered by EAST. I'm Blair from Wynn High School, and today's episode is destined to be a hit because we are at EAST Conference. We'll be talking with the founder of EAST, along with alums and current students. Let's go ahead and get started with our greatest hits. Hello, everyone. My name is Blair Huddleston, and welcome back to the Empowered by EAST podcast. And today with me, I have a very special guest.
Jason Everett.
And Mr. Jason is here with me today to kind of talk about his involvement with EAST and just kind of why he's here at conference.
Yeah, so Blair, for some reason, they needed a speaker today. And maybe they couldn't fill the spot, I'm not sure. But they asked me to come, and I was in the very first EAST class in 1995.
So that would have been all the way back with Mr. Tim Stephenson, correct?
That's right, 30 years ago.
See, what was he like 30 years ago?
Everything was still black and white.
We know how Mr. Tim is. So.
That's right.
How was he just as a teacher?
So I'll never forget Mr. Stevenson's laugh. He always has that jovial giggle, but he's also got a stern way of making sure things happen. So a little grace and a little stern, and that was Mr. Stephenson. But what I appreciate about him is the fact that he let us do what we were working on. As long as we were working on something and we were trying to push things down the road, he let us kind of work and do those things. But if you tried to goof off, he wasn't going to allow that.
Yes, sir. I know we have a lot of facilitators that are like that, and he kind of set the tempo, I guess, for facilitators down the road. And I know that my facilitator personally keeps that line of we're friends and we're going to work, but we're going to make sure that we're done in a professional manner. So I completely understand that there. So how do you think this morning went?
I tell you what, every time I come to EAST Conference and I look out and I see rows and rows and rows of people, and then to walk down the hallway this morning and see all the school districts that are represented that have an EAST program, to me, it's just an example of how one person can totally change the world. And that's what we're looking at today because of a decision Mr. Stephenson made. You see thousands of kids every single year that are making a huge difference. And so this morning it went great, and I'm excited to see what the next 30 years EAST brings.
Yes, and that's just kind of the magic behind it. I mean, I've seen so many projects here, and I haven't even been here 2 hours yet, that I'm like, wow, you're making such a difference in your community. Would you ever have thought 30 years ago that we would be where we are today?
Never dreamed in a million years that 30 years later that people would even know about EAST or be talking about Greenbrier or be talking about projects. And it's just absolutely amazing, and what a blessing it is to say I was there to watch it.
See, we made a trip for the podcast. We made a trip to Greenbrier when they had their celebration for the 30-year anniversary, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I mean, I was able to see, and I know everyone else that was in attendance was able to see just how much time had gone through and how much growth had gone through in those 30 years. So how does it feel to be a part of that? And
I hated, I was out of the country when that happened, and I wasn't able to be there, and I was sad that day. I was watching all the social media posts and watching the highlight video, and I was so sad, but I'm so happy to know that it started there and to see the impact that it just continues to make. Gives me a lot of pride.
No, I feel the same way. I've been in EAST. This will be my 8th year.
Oh, wow.
So seeing the growth just even from being in intermediate school and just like looking back at pictures, because, they all show up around this time. It's like, wow, EAST has grown so much, even in that short amount of time that I've been involved with it. And, I mean, I know that you say the same thing, that just the overall involvement and just being in it and getting to experience it, I'm sure I couldn't even imagine being in it from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the picture today they showed on the screen, but they asked me if I had any pictures from the first years of EAST, and I'm like, no cell phones were around then, and I probably wasn't allowed to bring my Kodak camera to class, so don't have anything. But there's a few pictures that were in the nursepaper, and when you look at the size of the computer that were in those first EAST class, you would think that was like, they held all the nuclear codes or something. They were that big. And then now to look at even how you're doing the podcast here on something small, and that to know that it has way more power than that big thing did. And then to think about the smaller the computer, the bigger the impact that EAST is making. So, that to me, that's a great sign.
Yes, and building off of the smaller the computer, bigger the impact, I see that even in programs. And when I see a smaller program doing something, then I'm like, oh, like maybe, and then I go and I explore it, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like these students truly believe that they can change the world and are doing that in their communities, one project at a time. And I am so impressed with the growth in just all of these years. Even looking back at old photos, I know that you said, couldn't bring your camera, although that would be really helpful.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been. We probably had to check them in or something. I don't remember. We couldn't chew gum then either.
Oh,
so,
my goodness.
Probably couldn't bring our cameras. I don't remember cameras, but, we didn't have a cell phone policy because you couldn't bring your house phone.
Didn't need that one.
That's right.
Today, I'm just so excited and thankful to be a part of just this overall 30-year celebration. And how did you end up with Mr. Stephenson's class?
Honestly, I don't know. I've tried to replay this in my head. I just remember that there was a classroom, and they started putting computers in there, and it was probably due to the fact that I wasn't a great student. They probably said, hey, he needs to be in something different. There's no way we can send him to, trigonometry. He don't even know how to spell it. And so that's probably how it worked out. I'm not real sure how it did, but boy, am I blessed and thankful it did. It happened that way.
And I'm sure that Mr. Stephenson is just as blessed that he was able to be your facilitator without even knowing that he was a facilitator at this point yet.
Yeah, he was just teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
assistant principal too. You
really?
May not know that, but he was also an assistant principal.
Okay, so fun fact about Mr. Tim is that he was also an assistant principal. Okay, I would have never guessed that.
That's probably why he was stern. Had that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, see that just put so many pieces together.
Yeah, I don't know if he's shared this or not, but there were teachers that weren't real excited about EAST.
Really?
They weren't. They believe that allowing kids to have freedom was probably not a good thing, to allow them time to sit outside the box. So I will tell you that he overcome a lot. And there's another person that I don't know if you've ever had her on your podcast, but you should, because she made a difference at the state of Arkansas that kept EAST going. That's Miss Melanie Bradford.
Really? Okay.
And because of her connections in the state is what allowed EAST to go from a small school district to a statewide thing. And everybody should be thankful for Mr. Stephenson coming up with the idea, but they should also be thankful for Miss Bradford that she was coming in from the state to look at the program and then seeing the difference it was making and help allow it to go all across the state.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
See, I know that EAST is, I had the number not too long ago, but EAST is all over the state of Arkansas, but it's also in other states.
It is.
So the growth, I just keep going on and on and on about the growth, but that's insane.
That's what we need. We need kids to graduate, and then they need to move to other states and start EAST programs there.
Yes.
And then eventually we'll have the whole nation, and that's what we need. We need kids to say, I want to be an EAST facilitator. I want to grow up, and then I want to move somewhere and make a difference. Now, don't hear me wrong. We need people to also stay in their counties that they're in, especially in the rural parts of Arkansas, because you're making a difference there, and we need to make a huge difference in Arkansas. We don't need all of our people to grow up and leave.
Yes, and staying in state, just here, once you have these people that have been involved in it, and then they go on to continue to lead and serve in the state, I know that there are a lot of facilitators, especially the one from today, that started off in Harrisburg and then went to be the facilitator at Cross County, and that's growth in itself.
It is. Yeah, making a difference.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast today and just coming to EAST Conference with us. We know that we're going to have a great time.
Well, thank you for having me on, and I just want to highlight just those 3 things I talked about today, and that is, don't allow your past to define you. There's a reason why your windshield is bigger than your rear view. So quit allowing your past or what you've been told or that you're no good. None of that matters. Let that go. You get to determine your future. Then the second thing is be careful about who your friends are. You know, I said today, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Your friends can totally derail you. You're only one mistake away from destroying your life. So make wise decisions and have great friends around you. Thank God I had good friends when I was in high school. And so those are a couple things. And then the last one is set the temperature in the room you go into. Don't be a thermometer, be the thermostat. Set the temperature. And, you know, that doesn't mean you have to be the center of attention, but it also means that you walk into a room and people are doing bad things doesn't mean you have to participate or be in that room. You get to go set the temperature in the room you want to be in. So do right, keep going, and make a difference in the world.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you again. We really appreciate you being on the podcast with
Thank
us
you.
today. And I have a very special guest here with me today.
My name's Addie Lemon, and I'm from Calico Rock High School.
And wait a minute, I heard that Calico Rock did something really cool this morning.
Wait, did you?
Yeah, wait a minute. This is one of my Founders Award winners.
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so what kind of went into that?
So, at the beginning of the year, we weren't really, looking for the Founders Award, but as the year went on, we kind of got more and more excited, and we started to make our video, and we were just getting really excited and really pumped. And we started doing more projects. We have over 15 projects, and we just picked our 6 greatest ones. It was very fun.
Yeah, so can you kind of tell us a little bit of your story, kind of like this morning on the stage, just what happened?
So, we're a really small program, but we like to, since we're really small, we can get a lot of community partners because everybody knows each other, kind of. Mm-hmm. And so nobody's afraid to reach out and ask for help and different, it's a great community. We started working with our City Hall first, was our really first project. And we created an interactive mapping app for them and a brochure. And then we started working with our museum, and they wanted a brochure. So then we started making brochures for them of the city and stuff. And then we worked with our teacher for the visually impaired to create a 3D Braille cell to teach kids how to read Braille. And we have many more projects.
Okay, so what did it take from your program to get you all to where you are now?
It definitely takes confidence and willingness. I think our program has a lot of confidence and a lot of willingness to just help our community. Like I said, it's really small, so we're not afraid to ask for help or ask people, hey, is there anything we can do for you? It's just kind of natural for us to do that.
Yes, and that is one of our building blocks in EAST is just that overall communication and making sure that we are checking all of the boxes.
Yeah.
And we made a comment earlier. I just did another interview, and one of the things he said was, the smaller the computer, the bigger the result. And I took that as a literal sense. You said that y'all have a smaller program, but clearly y'all are doing big things, and I think that is very important and truly amazing. And I'm so thankful that you were able to share your story with me today.
Yeah. I love EAST. It's just so fun.
Yes.
We just get to help people, and it's just when you get to see people's faces when you come up with a solution to their problem, and it's the greatest feeling ever. It's just amazing.
Just knowing that you filled the need.
Yeah. And then you can just move on to the next, and it's just it's just making people happy. Not only solving problems, but making people happy. And I think that's what EAST is, kind of.
Yeah, EAST 100% is all about fixing the problems, but also doing it in a way that unites everyone.
Yeah.
So.
And we're just getting EAST in our elementary this year.
Really?
Yes, and I'm so excited for these little kids for our little elementaryers to just get a taste of EAST, because I remember when I was in elementary, we didn't have EAST, so I'm just so happy. We get to have EAST for the littles.
Well, I'm excited for y'all. That's going to be a big addition.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Are they going to when will that be put in?
I think next year.
Okay. So how does it feel to be in this founder circle?
I think it feels pretty nice, not gonna lie.
Gonna be over here with the VIPs?
Yeah. I mean, we got 5 stickers over there on the floor.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at them right now.
They're looking at me. I'm telling you they are.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for hopping on the podcast with me
Thank
today.
you for
I really
inviting me.
appreciate
This is so
you.
fun.
Hello and welcome back to another section of Empowered by EAST. Today with me I have yet another Founders Award winner.
Hey, how are we doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, feeling nice.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think this morning went?
A lot better than I thought it would go in my head, that's for sure. Especially for how much we joked about us tripping up the stairs.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear and see that didn't happen this morning.
I'm also very glad to see that didn't happen, even if I did have to take a break in talking. Yeah, I think it went really well. I had a very good team and very good presenters.
Oh, you did a wonderful job.
Thank you. I
Speaking of
appreciate
the presentation, you were able to present today because you are a Founders Award winner.
Mm-hmm.
What went into winning that award?
That's a really good question. I think it's really the people, because you can't win Founders without having people in EAST that are dedicated, including the facilitators and the students. And we had great people working on projects. And I think even with not the best projects, if you have real enthusiasm and a real drive to help people, any school can win Founders. And I think we had that this year. And I'm very, very grateful to see that our students were able to do something like that.
Oh yes, Founders is truly one of those awards that it takes what you can give, if that
Absolutely.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So how did that feel when you heard your name announced as a Founders Award winner?
It's funny, we had a meeting, the whole EastCon team, and I wasn't able to attend because I was gone, and Miss Jill, our facilitator, texted me on the trip and was like, hey, we won Founders. And I've been in East for a while, but I have not been on a team. I've not been on the team when we won Founders. So hearing something like that, I was like, this EastCon is going to be so much different than it usually is. But I was so excited that we were able to win Founders because it's a huge honor.
Well, I'm proud for y'all. Thank you so much for hopping on the podcast today and telling us a little bit about your story.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We have yet another Founders Award winner here with us today. Will you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rachel Kemp, and I'm from Lamar High School.
All right, Rachel. So what all went into this Founders Award?
So, our program has been working on many projects over the past couple of years. A lot of our projects this year were actually continued on from last year. For example, like our bag remapping were continued on from last year, and our area's website was continued on from last year.
Okay, yeah. So were those projects kind of like your leading projects, or like how did y'all showcase that through your Founders video?
So, for example, for like the Red Lake mountain bike trails, we just stated that they had started researching it and gotten in contact at the end of last school year, but then of course summer break hit, and so they weren't really able to get out there. But then once fall hit and the weather kind of cooled down, they were able to get out there and remap and everything and figure out GPS equipment. So it was super cool.
So they've just been doing a lot of learning and growth overall?
Yes.
Okay.
We've learned so many new skills this year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so part of that with all the skills and things like that, especially being on stage, I know this morning you were talking about how nervous you were, but you did so good. You did so well.
I was very nervous. Me and Annabelle were both back there talking about how nervous we were, and they have us lined up with all the other student champions that were fixing to go out there that have been working on their Founders videos. We were all talking about how nervous we were. We're like trying to amp each other up without stressing each other out.
Yeah.
But I loved the space backstage.
Just feeding off of the energy from everyone.
Yes, it was amazing. And all of the head people were so nice too during
That's
rehearsals
wonderful.
yesterday.
The leadership team truly does make the world go round, 100%. So back to Founders. So you said that you and your co-student champion were the ones who created the video, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what all did you put into your video?
We had pictures, we had videos, we had, oh my goodness, so many projects. I was trying to think. We made sure that, so for the Founders video, you want to cram as much in as possible. We talked super fast. We even had to speed up some of the clips to make
Really?
sure that we got everything in. But it was super fun and so rewarding whenever you get done and you press that little submit button. It's so like, oh, so nice.
Everything just,
Yeah.
all the stress, all the anxiety, you're just like, okay, whatever. Whatever happens,
Yep.
happens.
It's so
Well,
amazing.
I am proud for y'all, and I'm so glad that I'm actually getting a perfect view of their booth right now, and it is set up beautifully. Y'all's theme, what is y'all's theme exactly? What did y'all
So
go for?
our theme is the EASTs. It's supposed to be a play on the word the Grammys.
Mhm.
So we have our little pink carpet and everything that you
Yes.
can walk on. We have a 3D printed EASTs trophy. If you want to, you can hold it, take a
Oh,
picture with it.
okay.
You can vote for the EASTs, vote for your favorite project. At the end, we'll kind of do like a little reveal thing tomorrow afternoon. And if you vote, you get a little sticker that says, I voted for the EASTs.
I love that. That's so creative. And I'm sure that your whole program is just full of creativity, considering that you are a Founders winner. So what is one piece of advice that you would give to someone that is applying for Founders?
Oh, goodness. I would say, like, don't stress yourself out too much. And also, it doesn't have to be, I'm a very creative graphic design person. You don't have to add in all the graphic designs. Ours was created through iMovie. We put the clips together and just sync them up with our words. And then always collect content throughout the year. And then whenever you get to like 2 months before the Founders videos due, start working on it, start putting clips together, and then start working on our script.
So y'all started the process in January?
Yes,
Around then? Okay.
roughly.
So yeah, give that 2-month time period and put the work and the effort in, and clearly you'll get the reward.
And you always want to make sure to start early with the snow and everything.
Yes. Always
We found
check
that
in
out the hard
weather.
way this year. It was a
Oh,
little
yes.
scary.
Yes, I'm sure it was, having to push that deadline a little bit closer. So
The second the roads got cleared, we were out there on the weekend working on it.
oh yeah, and I'm sure that work definitely paid off,
Yes.
and we're glad that you did it.
We were up there working on it at the school whenever they said that it was going to be like a week later. We were up there at the school. There was snow like covered everywhere.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
so crazy.
Y'all
but
were dedicated.
yes,
True
very much so.
dedication from Lamar High School. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today, and I'm
Thank you
so
for having
glad
me.
that I was able to see your booth and see all of the wonderful things your program
Thank
is
you.
doing.
I had a lot of fun.
Welcome back to the Empowered by EAST podcast. I'm here with the founder, Mr. Tim Stephenson. Mr. Stephenson, how are you feeling after this morning?
Wow, it's been a heck of a day, for
It's
sure.
been a long day.
It's been a long day. My day started about 4:30 this morning to make my way down. So yeah, but it's been amazing.
I know that today is kind of a celebratory day because this will mark our 30th annual EAST conference.
30 years. That is truly astounding.
Well, Mr. Stephenson, after this morning, we all kind of came back into the exhibit hall. And I know that we were all very excited, and you've seen a lot of, I don't want to say chaos, but commotion today. Is there anything that you've seen today that you were like, wow, that is EAST?
Oh my gosh. Well, the first thing that has struck me, I'll just be, straight up. This seems to be the most energy and frankly the well-dressed bunch. I see. Maybe I'm just imagining that, but it seems to be a great year for just the general energy level of students and the willingness to just be real and have real conversations. So I've really enjoyed the day very much.
I'm glad that you were able to be here with us today and just kind of get to see all of the work that you started. Would you ever have imagined that 30 years ago that it would turn into something like this?
Absolutely not. I don't think important things like EAST, I don't think they happen because of some, or put it this way, this one didn't happen because of some pre-planned outcome, goals, or initiative. I would call this a very natural evolution of an effort that began with me, but certainly didn't become what it is today because of just me by a long shot. It's the effort of hundreds of people that had the same heart, the same passion, I think one of the things that made it possible, I recognized early on my limitations. And any smart person will recognize and acknowledge their shortcomings. And I think probably the wisest thing that happened was I surrounded myself with people who had similar vision, similar passion, for sure had a heart for students and their welfare, but had different gifts than I had. So that culmination of a diversity of gifts became an unstoppable initiative, because you get that many people that feel that passionate about something, and you harness the diversity of gifts among that group of people, and my gosh, that's powerful. It's more powerful than any opposition that you might run into. So, you know, I've been asked 1,000 times, how'd this happen? And I always respond mostly out of self-defense.
Yes.
Because I found myself in circumstances that were beyond my abilities to cope. But because of life experience, I knew that I didn't have to cope by myself. I could surround myself with great people. And that explains why this happened and how it happened. Certainly not it didn't happen because of any one person's gift or passion or how smart they were. Or, you know, it's not like that. The real world doesn't operate that way. So I think that's worth examining. If I had, advice for you, Blair, it would be, you are absolutely amazing. I know that already. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your heart that you have a lot of passion for life and for others. And that's extraordinarily awesome. My advice is share that passion freely and find people of like mind. Surround yourself with people with similar vision for life, but not necessarily just like you. In fact, seek out those that aren't just like you, because they'll make up where you have deficit. They will have strength. That's a very wordy way of explaining things, I guess, but I really feel that way. It's the truth.
Yes, sir, that makes perfect sense to me, and thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that advice with me, and that just means a lot. Thank you for sharing that.
I know when I went, I think something worth noting, I had my grandfather probably gave me a lot of the principles that EAST was built on. And one of those principles was don't listen so much to what people say, but watch what they do to discern whether they can be your ally. Isn't that great advice?
That is great advice.
And there's 100 things like that that kept us out of. It kept us moving forward in a positive way. Great things don't happen because of great individuals. Very seldom. they happen because sincere people find one another and put forth great effort. And you can move the world with that, which it's obvious.
Which we can see that here today, just the overall movement and the energy, and just everyone is here and we're all like-minded. We have different strengths, but we have the same goal, and I think that's the beauty of it all.
That's it. That's it, Blair. You just captured very succinctly what I rattled on about for several minutes. So good job.
Well, thank you, Mr. Stephenson, and thank you for talking with me today.
You are, oh my gosh, Blair, you're the reason. You are the very definition of what drove my life's work, and that is this effort. And so you've had the EAST experience now for several years?
Yes, sir. It'll be 8 years.
And, oh my gosh, it shows. Okay, you're amazing, Blair. And thank you for wanting to invest some time with me. And it means a lot to me.
Well, yes, sir. It's been an honor. Thank you, Mr. Stephenson. Well, Jack, what is your greatest hit in EAST?
Well, my greatest hit in the East is the Cogville Cemetery project that I'm a part of. I live right next to the cemetery, and it is a part of my life because I walk my dog in there all the time, and I realize that it needs some work and it needs to be revitalized, and so that is my goal with this project, and I love doing it for that reason.
I think my greatest hit in EAST is just getting to lead and watch all of my peers create these projects that they do in our class, and getting to see them in the community and do work for our community that is important to them.
My greatest hit is my freshman year. I got to map all of the fire hydrants for our local fire department, and I was able to learn a new software, ArcGIS, and apply it to a real-world issue, and I got to help the town.
Our greatest hit at England High School East is our England Revitalization Project, where it is a project that we are taking a lot of our community parks and community areas that need renovations and making those renovations happen, improving on our community spaces, and trying to get more engagement going in our community.
My greatest hit is Veterans Day program at school. It's a project that we can honor and thank the men and women who have served our country by holding an event for veterans at no cost.
My greatest hit would probably be Mr. Little, which is my facilitator, as he's always driving us to come up with new projects and new ideas, no matter what we do. Even if we don't have a project, he makes us a side quest to go on, and he's just a really good facilitator at that.
So I think my greatest hit would have to be my team members. I think that being part of a team is a big part of being in EAST. EAST is not just walking into a classroom and feeling welcome. Yes, it is, but it's also about who you're bonding with, and if you're having the time of your life. That's the whole point of a hit, is if you're having fun and your team is having fun, because we are a community. We are not one individual person, a part of EAST. We are here. I mean, we're at an event that has over 3,000 people, and we would not be EAST if it weren't for the community and the people built on the foundation of EAST.
My greatest hit is probably the growth I've seen through the past year of being in EAST, and have kind of seen myself change and evolve around community, and like my passion for everybody has really grown a lot, and I feel like so has my problem solving, and everything I'm capable of has just like immense greatly.
My greatest hit is being student champion, because I get to explore and like teach people what I know, and just being able to embrace myself even more.
My greatest hit is probably being able to come to EAST Conference and all these projects that we've had.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Empowered by EAST podcast. I'm Blair Huddleston.
And I'm Allie Hobson.
And we have just gotten done with our very first day of EAST Conference 30th year anniversary.
It has been a full day, a very long day.
It has been an extremely long day, but you know, I'm here for it.
Yep.
And I appreciate every second of it. And I've got.
It's been a great day, not just a good day. It's been a great day.
You know, that's the saying, is you make every day a great day.
Mm-hmm.
And I've really tried to instill that today.
Pushing through all that tiredness and hungriness and crankiness a little bit. And we're just
Exactly.
having a joy of a time, and it has been really fun. That adrenaline is pumping.
I'm sure that adrenaline was pumping this morning when you got off stage.
Yeah. The adrenaline. So funny enough, last year I was a ball of nerves before, and normally I'm totally fine, but I was like, never done this before. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But this year, if you would have seen me backstage, you would have seen me nearly jumping up and down. I was like, guys, I am ready. Please get me on the stage. I was like, can we start earlier? I'm ready to go. When me and Tremaine got up there, we were having a good old time. It was just so much fun to be back at the place that I love the most and just back with all the fun people and in such, like the best environment in the world, surrounded by so much excitement and fun and just genuine desire to want to make the world a better place. And so all those kids just having so much fun and all the facilitators, like, it just meant the world to get to be the one leading that. But I know you've also got to have a lot of interesting talks today.
I've had a lot of long but like very interesting and almost, I want to say, intriguing conversations today. I've heard a lot of different projects.
That's good.
They hopped on the podcast today to kind of tell me what their greatest hit in East was. And one of the main ones that I'm seeing is that everybody wants to podcast. We are an inspiration alley.
We are starting a trend.
We are trendsetters, especially, these younger kiddos who keep coming by.
Yeah.
They're like, we want a podcast. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let me give you my business
I was gonna
card.
say, you do it. Go for it.
Yeah.
That's what I tell everybody. Like, I got to mention, I was lucky enough to lead a fireside chat today, one of the signature sessions with Lexi Jarrett. And I said, guys, you lose 100% of the chances that you don't take.
Yeah.
So just try it. Just try it and see how it goes.
Yeah.
If you fail, it's okay. Try again.
Exactly.
But if it works out, keep doing it and keep doing it well. And speaking of kids who want a podcast, I had a precious little girl who I might be surprising with a difference maker pin tomorrow.
Really?
Because I'm going to go find her and give her a difference maker pin, my difference maker pin. But she came up to me, and she was one of the kids that was at our podcast training.
Stop, I'm going to cry.
And Miss Renda, one of the EAST staff members, was introducing her to our founder, Mr. Tim Stephenson, and talking so highly of her because her and her two friends just recently went and presented to the board of directors on their project and their podcast that they have, that they started. And she said that they started that podcast because of the training, because of us. Literally. And I was like, no, I wanted to literally give her the biggest hug, but she was talking with Mr. Tim and getting to meet him, but she stopped everything and was like, Allie and Blair were the reason that I started this podcast. And then I got my friends involved. I was like, sweet girl. I was like, you have no idea. That is
it's
everything.
So rewarding. And I know that you shouldn't necessarily always just be like, yeah, I do it for the reward. Because I don't do it for the reward. I do it because I genuinely love doing this and having those meaningful conversations and just meeting people. I mean, I love meeting new people. But when I get to see people that they're showing me that it means something to them, and that's when I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be.
And not even it inspiring other EAST kids, but another fun thing that happened, I got Matt Dozier himself, of course, know him, love him. He actually came up to me at our leadership retreat, pulled out his phone and showed me an email from a former chair of the EAST Board of Directors who sent this big, long email thread about how impressed he was with these podcast hosts that he hired.
Stop.
Literally, that was the direct quote. These podcast hosts that he got. And how the conversations that they're having are so important and so relevant, and how you can just tell their insane amount of passion for EAST and the mission. And it was just, it's rewarding to get to see sometimes, especially nearing, I'm at the end of my time as an EAST student, which is
that's gonna make
horrible
me cry too.
to
Oh
say.
My gosh, Allie.
I'm going to start bawling my eyes out tomorrow, but it's also very, very sweet to look back and just say, well, I'm proud that I can see some of the fruits of the labor over the past 7 years.
So I did the math earlier today. This will be my...
Doing math one more time, currently.
Just to make sure. This is currently my 7th EAST conference.
Oh, my goodness.
And, to say that out loud, this is my first time, this is my second time. I thought coming a third time was a lot.
Oh, yeah.
When you tell people, this is my 7th year, they're like,
no way.
What?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing?
You're for real, for real.
No, I've been doing this a long time.
Just like Addie Beth said this morning, literally. Yes, that's literally how
equivalent of that. And to be able to just be like, yeah, I've done this. And like, I have this exhibit hall is memorized in my brain.
Absolutely.
I know where I am, and I know exactly what's going on, and I still want to come back every year because there's something new
always
here
something
every
new.
year. I can never find this energy here that I can anywhere else. No other East classroom, no other community member, none of that. And that energy is only found here, and everybody here is always so excited to be here.
I think the best part about East students is that every year we come back and we want to see more.
Yeah.
And East delivers every single time. The staff, the volunteers, the sponsors, the leadership, the production, every year, especially 30 years. I mean, we aren't even done with conference yet, and it has been my favorite conference and favorite theme ever.
I love it.
Just
because
because
everybody
we're
is
doing
being so original.
Exactly. And I think our greatest hits, I was talking about this earlier, the theme itself gives every single individual East program the opportunity to connect on such a deeper level because they can immediately think of what our greatest hits means to them.
Yeah, and for everyone that's completely different. Like in our booth, I know with us we did superheroes, and then y'all did more of a baseball theme, and we played off of more of the hit with the onomatopoeia. And
oh yes,
I don't know if you stopped by, but
I did. I got to see all the
interesting.
cool stuff.
But I've just seen a lot of different plays on it, and I think that's what makes it so unique. And this theme is so good for this year specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is the 30th time, and we want something new, and everybody delivered with something different, and I love to see it.
It's just so incredible. And like you were saying, like there's no place, kind of how you say there's no place like home, there's no place like East. There's no students like East students. There's no teachers like East facilitators. There's no staff members like East staff. It is just an unbelievable testament, this conference specifically, to everything that East is and what makes it so unique.
Exactly. And you, like I said earlier, you cannot find it anywhere else.
No.
It is only here, and that's what you crave it almost. Like,
yeah.
It's March. It's East Conference
It's March.
month.
We know what this is.
Mark my calendar. This week has been marked off in my calendar every year. For almost 8 years.
Yeah.
To think about that, like I was marking it when I was getting ready for conference. I was putting it on my calendar, and I was like, wow, this is the 7th year I've written this on here.
Yep.
Like, that is crazy.
And even for me, it's really special this being my last conference as a student, because this will not be my last conference. I swear I'm never leaving
you have
East
to come
alum.
back next year.
But I'll be back as an alum, and hopefully one day they'll give me a job. But it's really cool because it just makes me even more passionate about driving the future of East students forward, so that no matter if speakers change or leadership changes or staff members change, kids are always getting the exact same level of excitement and passion from everybody that represents East once they walk through those doors for the first time.
Yes, because you have to learn it from, I don't want to say from your elders, but in this case, we are the older ones.
We are
officially
the
older ones.
unks.
But being able to show these young, I don't want to keep calling them kids, but these young Easties, I guess you can say,
Easties,
they have just a way of catching on to that energy. And they're going to bring that same excitement every single year.
And just like you said, they crave it. They want it to be better constantly. And I think that's what keeps us moving, is we know we have to live up to the standards of last year, and we got to do even better.
Exactly.
And so it's so much fun. It's so much fun, and it's so exciting. It's also so crazy to have to deal with sometimes.
Yes.
But you always go back to why we do what we do.
Yes.
And that's what makes it worth it. In those crazy moments where you're like, I don't know if this idea is going to work. I don't know if this idea is too big. Or when we're in the production rehearsals and we're like, hopefully this works.
Yeah.
But you know that you're going to try it and you're going to give it your all, just so those kids can leave believing that they can do anything and they can change the world.
And that's the beauty of it all, is just being able to start so fresh and grow into something like this. I mean, never in a million years did I think I would be a podcast host.
No.
But now I'm like, oh, yeah. And I love it.
And this is the sad part, is I'm sitting here thinking, just now I'm realizing, like, this might be, hopefully not, but this might be our last episode together.
And Allie's made me cry again.
And it's just, it's like kind of hard to reconcile with, because it's something that I've loved for so long and something that has completely changed the course of my life. But I also know that I've left it in the very best of hands. I've left this podcast in the very best hands. I've left what I have been lucky enough to call a role that I've had with being speaker for the past few years. I've left that in the very best hands. Like, I am normally someone that does not like change and does not like giving things up, and I like doing things my own way. But literally, like, where I'm leaving it from a student perspective, I could not be more comfortable with allowing that and letting that happen and letting things move forward. Seriously. Like, it is insane, the talent. Like, I say this every year, but not only do the kids get more excited, the kids just keep getting better.
They do.
Because they keep growing, they keep learning, and with them wanting more, they also expect more, which means they work harder because they grow their expectations for themselves. So then everybody's getting better, and everybody's got something new every single time. And so when that happens, the kids are just unreal. Like, you got from elementary schoolers, and then they turn into middle schoolers, and then high schoolers. Like, you're just never going to find anything like it and see the growth.
No.
Until you're at EAST.
Yep. And that's the beauty of it all. So, Allie, I'm so thankful that we were able to sit here and kind of recap our day and just go on and on about it. So, I'm so glad that we were able to do this. Hopefully not for the last time.
Hopefully not. We're gonna
I'm gonna say this now. Allie and I will see you next time on Empowered by EAST.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us for EastCon 26. Remember to subscribe to the podcast to never miss future episodes of Empowered by EAST. Until next time.